Alright, dude, I mean, you guys literally can't make this up. Here I am, grinding all day to make my first recap for the Asia RMRs, looking over at Twitter, looking for some motivation to keep me going as I've been trying not to drink as much caffeine lately, and then, out of nowhere, we see this. And within the next 30 minutes, suddenly Train's back! Just add it to the game, here we are, Train update! Fuck you, Reddit. My name is Valve, give me money. Cut to me, your poor, put-upon content creator, now having to scramble with the speed of light to bring you this update video so you know what you're doing when you log on to play Counter-Strike later. Today, we're going to go over everything that was added in this gigantic content update. 2 new community maps, a huge amount of reworks for Overpass, and the return of the greatest map to ever hit Counter-Strike that is not DE season, DE Train. If you love public transportation as much as I do, and that's based, so you should, leave a like, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It helps out immensely in the YouTube algorithm. Also, top link in the description. Come hang out in my community Discord today. We've been talking about the update, talking about the majors. Come yell at me for my opinions being wrong. I don't care. Without any further ado, let's start talking patch notes. Alright, first things first, let's talk new maps. Thera, Mills, Assembly, and Memento have been removed from all game modes, and in their place, we've gotten Basalt and Edin as new competitive, casual, and deathmatch maps, and Palace and Whistle as 2 new Wingman maps. Now, I'm just gonna let you guys know, I do not care about Wingman. We're not gonna be talking much about Palace and Whistle in this video. I'm sure somebody else has got you covered on that front. But starting with Basalt and Edin first, these are maps. I believe Basalt was in CSGO previously, and as far as I know, Edin is a brand new community workshop map. These are both pretty interesting maps, all things considered. Basalt is this very weird, triangular, closed-in map. It looks like it's set in like a small fishing village in some weird Nordic part of the world. It's got a very interesting aesthetic. I like all of the color palettes here. It seems like players are going to stand out very well. Not many places for people to hide and tuck in corners. As for the layout, it feels very small and congested vertically, but some of these rotates, like especially through T-spawn between the bomb sites, feel very long. This is a map that I'm actually excited to try out because I think there's a lot of interesting like height level differences, corners to clear through the houses in between the sites. But my first impressions are that these bomb sites are tiny, miniature even. The plant areas themselves are also incredibly small. It feels like fighting for these bomb sites is going to be a nightmare. Shotguns and SMGs are going to have a lot of value here. And then when it comes down to mid control, it feels like this map is going to be a nightmare to op on because there's so many small, congested corners that you need to clear. Obviously, we need to play it to know more about it, but just on initial run through, it's certainly different, but much like Thera and Mills, I don't think this is a layout that's going to stick for most players. As for the other map, Edin, listen, I understand that map making is an art form and that it's very difficult to come up with new and novel ideas when Counter-Strike especially seems to have a very solved map making formula. But, respectfully, is this a Valorant map? What in the hell is this layout? A site is CT spawn, and then B site is in the middle of the map, so if you wanted to rush A, you would have to either run through B site first or go around the world on the extremities. This layout is so extremely odd. The aesthetics of this map are really nice, it looks really cool, but this layout, I have no idea about this one, Chief. It seems to me, on initial impression, that this map is going to be Rush B Simulator or run a 5K down one of the side lanes to try and make it to A. For the CTs, I don't even know how you approach setting up this map. I think you have to put like 4 people or even all 5 on B right out the gate just to avoid dying to the immediate Mac 10 rush. Some of these wall bangs from CT into B site look really suspect. This one from the back of B site through the window pane especially seems really toxic. Basalt, I can kind of see what they're cooking here. I'm interested to play this one. Edin, I have no idea what to think about this map. This seems like a failure on launch to me. Next up in this update, we got an honestly shocking amount of Overpass changes. The first thing that has to be said, B-site has basically been overhauled to be much better in terms of performance. Pretty much all of the water in the canals on B-site has been removed, and that right there is a godsend from Valve. The water, not only was it unnecessary, it created so many issues with performance. If you dropped a grenade into water on this map, you might as well kiss your graphics card goodbye. But now, the average FPS just walking around in a private match was so insanely improved, I can't believe it. Other than that, there's been a ton of lighting changes. Heaven has been changed quite significantly. There's now a gap in the railing allowing you to drop down to the B site much more easily. They lightened up Heaven so it's not so nearly dark, making the CT stand out better. They improved the lighting behind barrels. They got rid of a bunch of weird collision elsewhere on the B site. They cleaned up a bunch of the graphics so that B site just looks cleaner, more consistent, better lighted. Everything about the B site, even though there's been no changes structurally, just feels better to walk around and feel and try and play around. And that's kind of what the updates to the rest of the areas on the map feel like. Not trying to change Overpass, but just improve some little small issues that have propped up over time in CS2. And I really do think this makes Overpass a lot more approachable, at least on face value. And considering Valve haven't done anything with the map since taking it out for Dust 2 however many months ago, this was a welcome change. I think we've all missed Overpass to some extent, even though I do have issues with it on a casual level, and seeing Overpass get this facelift is very nice to see. This is an absolute W from Valve. And now, what you've all been waiting for, what you probably jumped to in the chapters, by the way. I know that you're doing that. You should watch the whole video. Don't be rude. Let's go ahead and jump in game, because there is so much going on with the new train that my voiceover looking at footage already recorded would not do it justice. Let's go over it in real time together. All right, here we are. We're going to start off with the T-spawn. We're going to walk through it, and I'm going to tell you guys everything that's different, because this is not the same old train. This is entirely different than any version of train that's been in the game. So first off, T-spawn looks beautiful. I think Valve nailed the aesthetics of train. I love the rain. So far, just walking around in a private match, I don't see the rain really changing my FPS too much. The average FPS feels high. I don't really have any problems in that regard. First off, we actually have trains. They move. What? Train. Moving down here, T-spawn towards Ivy. You know, the trash cans are gone. They've changed this. This feels like a much wider corridor than previously. The first thing you will notice if you're a train veteran is there's no more trash can or ability to boost up and take the peak into Ivy on an off angle. If you're also a train veteran, Ivy looks a lot different, and it only gets more different from here. First things first, Ivy has this alcove now instead of a vending machine to boost over. So now you have this hidey corner if you want to take room into Ivy, and as you can see ahead, there's now a lot more angles to clear. Exiting Ivy towards Old Train, you can see that this cubby is still here. And that's about all the similarities with Old Train that you're going to see from the rest of this video. As you can see, Old Train is significantly different. The train cars have been backed up. This middle door is now open. Old Train is now entirely closed. This corridor that you used to be able to sit all the way back in and shoot down into the A site is now gone. There's no more train in here. This is just a connector to move through Ivy and into the A site. This already has changed the entirety of how we're going to play train going forward. It's massive. I can't understand that enough. And going through, as you can see, there's no more pop dog. No ladder up there. There's now just a cubby. And there's no more train in front of T entrance. It's been moved to the side. And yeah, this is the A site now. It feels at the same time bigger, but also more compact. The space is just so much different than what it was in Old Train in CSGO. Interesting thing to note, you can't walk into these ladders anymore. You do have to jump to get onto them. You can get onto this train car as well as this one going into Ivy. But you can't get through into Ivy anymore. This train is blocking the doorway. Very interesting. It's a one-way area for T's or CTs to sit upon and try and hold. Moving to T-spawn, you now have this new alcove that is very new. This was not here in any other version. It gives you an ability to see over behind the train side towards where Heaven used to be. More on that in just a minute. Cool little bit of graffiti. As you can see, A main is largely the same as it ever was. Nice. Good job, Valve. But you no longer can see through to Z. Z connector is now blocked off. If you want to peek out towards the bomb site, you have to swing towards E-box, or you have to take control this way towards Ivy and push out towards the middle of the site. Already, approaching A is now entirely different. This is crazy. The bomb train has been moved more to the right now. You can still plant on top of it like you could in other versions of train. More on Z in just a minute. Heaven is now gone. Heaven is just a corner. You can't get up there anymore. Valve were teasing us with the graffiti and the locked off doorway up there, but nope, no more Heaven. No more camping up there with an auto sniper. Sorry to say for all you silvers out there, that is gone. Moving into connector, as you can see, this box has been changed. No longer just the ticket booth. You can still get onto this trash can in the back, and you can see over the top of it. Get some cheeky angles going there. Moving back into Old Bomb, we can make our way towards CT spawn. And we'll start rapid through B site, and we'll end it by going through upper towards T. CT spawn, looking pretty nice, very atmospheric, very in the rain. Very cool. I really like this effect, by the way. If you're in the rain, you see the water on your character. How cool is that? Get down the bayonet real quick. Ooh. Ooh. Damn. Oh, yeah. Oh, that looks awesome. Too bad the warm thing's in the way. Super cool effect. Anyway, as we move through onto the B site, you will see that, once again, everything has changed. The whole layout of B site's different. It's a lot more open. Some of the train cars have been removed. Heaven is now entirely different. There is this office separating Heaven into 2 alcoves. So not only do CTs get a safe spot to sit up here to defend the bomb site, conversely, T's exiting into Heaven now also have their own alcove to hold and play. You can hold towards Z from here, hold the site, and you're now safe up here now. And instead of just being the ladder drop down over here, you now have these boxes to get on and climb down. The B plant site is a lot easier to jump out and in of. Planting on top also still available. It now makes a water noise on top. Be wary of that. And as you can see, these angles just look a lot cleaner, a lot more smoothed out. You can sit back here now if you wanted to and wait for people to come out of connector. Conversely, you have the same kind of equivalent spot. This is how this always worked. You can get up onto the train as per usual. All pretty good stuff. All right, into B halls now. As you can see, not much has changed here on initial. It's a little bit wider than what I remember from CSGO, but that might just be a perception thing. We still have the balcony to throw smokes out of, entrance down over there, and of course the other entrance towards Heaven. Same old, same old. And that's where the similarities end. As you can see, we now have, instead of a ladder room, a stairway out to E-Box. And it's now called Long Dog on the minimap. Welcome to Long Dog. I'm assuming these are all the guys who helped make the map, I would assume. I hope that's all the map makers. But yeah. Ladder room is now a staircase. How crazy is this? This whole connector change is going to make the map so different. And obviously here's T-spawn. T-side upper looking entirely different as well. This seems like a nightmare spot to clear. CTs can get up in here. It's going to be really annoying to take care of. Oh, wow. They really changed up train in a big way. I'm honestly super shocked, but it's early days, but I really, really like all the changes they've made. All right, thanks me for that live commentary. Okay, so we don't got much more to go over for this update. Let's talk about the few big system changes you should be aware of so that you're ready to play later tonight. The first thing is that Valve have added a new damage prediction system. To be quick about it, what they have added is damage prediction settings that will allow clients to immediately play the audio and visual effects of inflicting damage without waiting for confirmation from the server. Damage prediction can make shooting feel significantly more responsive, but comes with the risk of occasionally being wrong, like as a result of aim punch, tagging, or a death that your client isn't yet aware of. Predicted body shot effects disabled by default, and headshot effects also disabled by default, and kill ragdolls enabled by default can be toggled separately. Damage prediction is not active when you have high ping. So what this is basically is allowing you to overwrite what you will see versus what the server sees in instances of player damage. What you may have found is that occasionally the damage response from player animations can be lagging behind what you are actually doing in game. Like when you hit that sick Deagle 1 tap and only like 50 milliseconds later do you actually see and hear the response from the game in the form of the dink and the ragdoll response. We'll have to see over the next few days whether this is actually good on average versus having this disabled as by default. My personal read is that you should probably enable this just so that you get the instant feedback on your side and just have the risk of occasionally it being wrong based on ping. If you're someone who plays with high average ping or doesn't have a strong internet connection, I would leave this off. If you don't have those issues, I would try it out and see how it feels. The other major gameplay update is that third-person flash animations have been updated. The animations now accurately represent the player's visibility level, and the pose will only show the player's arm covering their eyes when they are completely blinded. And if you've played any amount of Counter-Strike, you know this is the best change Valve have ever made in the history of ever, because there's nothing more annoying than pop flashing an angle, swinging into a guy who has his hand covering his face, and him still sitting you down in one shot, because on his screen, he was only partially blind, and could still absolutely see you 100%. Good change, Valve. Other than that, we just have a handful of small changes like performance optimizations for Molotov and incendiaries, as well as grenade preview in private matches now showing the result of a jump throw while the jump button is being held, which is an awesome change. Other than that, read through the patch notes for anything else that wasn't covered here. Get out there, play Train, you will love Train, you will always love Train, and I will not let you do otherwise. Alright, that's going to be all for me, guys. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. These videos are powered by Advanced.gg. Check the link in the description down below if you want to browse any of their excellent products and decide to make a purchase. You use my code LIONS10 at checkout for 10% off. Thank you to Advance. I also work with Refrag. Refrag are by far the best self-improvement platform in CS2. If you want to take your train game to the next level, consider getting a Refrag subscription, and if you do, you can use my code LION15 for 15% off. Shout out to my channel members, Justin, Jesse, Furley, Bubblesj, Dr. Cocktor, and Milan Berta. If you want to become a channel member and support me directly, you can do so at the link in the description. Check out the community Discord, check me out on Twitch, all that good stuff. I'll see you guys soon with another video. Peace.